Today, my administration is taking several steps to stiffen enforcement.
The United States has recently announced that it is going to extend the COVID-19 pandemic-era restrictions known as Title 42. The aim is to expel migrants from Nicaragua, Cuba and Haiti who have been caught crossing the US-Mexico border back to Mexico. Since March 2020, the US has used its authority under the Title 42 public health law to rapidly expel migrants and in some cases to suspend the right to seek asylum under US law and international treaty. Today, we decode what exactly is this Title 42 policy, how it came into existence and what impacts the recent decision is supposed to have. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Although the policy has gained currency in last couple of years after COVID-19 came into picture, its genesis goes way back. The name refers to Title 42 of the US Government Code established on 1st of July 1944. This law grants federal authorities the power to deny entry of people and products into the country to limit the spread of a communicable disease. So essentially, the avowed intent of the law was to allow the government to prohibit the entry of foreigners if they present a serious danger of spreading communicable diseases. At the start of the COVID-19 in March 2020, US health authorities had issued Title 42 to allow border agents to rapidly send migrants crossing the US-Mexico border back to Mexico or other countries. The order was implemented under former President Donald Trump, whose administration sought to greatly curtail immigration. Back then, the US CDC had said that the step was needed to stem the spread of COVID-19 in crowded detention settings. But as noble as the intent might have been, this policy has been in the line of fire for completely other reasons altogether. And that reason is this. Title 42 has been used to crack down upon the migrants, especially from Central America, who have been coming to USA seeking end to their hardships. During the Trump era, the immigration rights groups had accused the administration of using public health as a pretext for cracking down on migration, a long-standing goal of the former president. The policy has also been criticized as a dubious measure for combating the spread of the virus. In fact, the US health authorities had themselves said in last April that the policy was no longer necessary. The current US President Joe Biden had campaigned on a promise to reverse Trump's restrictive asylum policies. While he moved to end some of the restrictions of the Trump era, he left Title 42 in place for more than a year, exempting unaccompanied children but allowing US authorities to send hundreds of thousands of migrants, including families, back to Mexico. Since Joe Biden took office, there have been a record number of migrants caught crossing the US-Mexico border, causing operational and political challenges for his administration. Many have repeatedly crossed after being expelled under Title 42 to nearby Mexican border cities. Title 42 has been applied both to those migrants who seek to evade border agents as well as those who turn themselves in to border patrol to seek asylum. And what is the stand of Mexico in this? It had initially only accepted the return of some nationalities, including its own citizens and migrants from Guatemala, Honduras and El Salvador. Migrants from Mexico, Central American nations, Cuba and Venezuela can be expelled to Mexico under an agreement between the US and Mexico. Others, including Haitians, have been expelled to their countries of origin unless they have legal documents to reside in Mexico, in which case they can be sent back to Mexico. Since the start of the Title 42 policy, Border Patrol has expelled migrants more than 2.4 million times. Border-wide, half of 4.8 million migrant encounters at the southwest border have resulted in expulsion over the period. Title 42 allows for quick returns without repercussions, and that has encouraged some migrants to try again and again. Rights advocates have said Title 42 violates international law and exposes people to threats in Mexico, including rape and murder. But several US border states argue it is needed to prevent an even greater surge in arrivals. Yesterday, Joe Biden arrived in Mexico ahead of bilateral meetings with Mexican President and Canadian Prime Minister, as well as a joint gathering of the three North American leaders dubbed the Three Amigos Summit. And this issue of migration and Title 42 is likely to come up in the meet. This was all about the Title 42 policy. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.